Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome to the video. In today's video, I'm doing a live stream Q&A. We are celebrating 80,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this on the replay, thank you so much. I'm excited for you to be here, and I'm excited to celebrate with you all as well as answer any questions that you have. Again, 80,000 subscribers, a huge milestone where the channel has come from the beginning of this year. Started the year at about 3,000 subscribers, and the growth has just been incredible. And I thank each and every one of you for joining me on my journey. And again, I'm just thankful for all of you out there. 2 years on YouTube, and really the last 4 months has been absolutely crazy. Feels like I'm strapped to a rocket ship. But thank you very much for joining this. I look forward to answering your questions. So if you're joining this on the live, please feel free, go ahead and pop your questions into the chat box. And if you're watching this on the replay, feel free to leave your comments down below, as well as if there's anything that I don't get to today, you can email me. My email address is ifwithryan@gmail.com. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump right into the live stream questions. So if you have those questions, leave those in the chat, and go ahead and let me know where you're joining from. So we got people joining in from all over the world. We got Notre Dame in Indiana joining in. What's going on, Caleb? Scott joining in from Arizona. Welcome to the live stream, Scott. Joseph from England, and looks like we got Virginia here. Carol, so good to see you again joining the live stream. And let's see, we got Indiana, New Jersey, Missouri, Florida, another Florida in the house, Texas, Spain. Man, there's so many people joining in. It's absolutely crazy how many people are on here. We got North Carolina, Ohio, Oklahoma. We got another South Carolina, Seattle, North Carolina, Savannah, Georgia. Again, joining in from all over the country, all over the world. And I'm so glad that you're all here. Get a little drink. I'm going to be talking a lot. So again, doing this at a different time, and the plan is to do this for an hour. So I'm going to try to get to each and every one of your questions. But I had a question come in, and it was a write-in question. So I'll go ahead and get to that one first. And it's, have you been losing weight, maintaining weight, or gaining weight over the last few months? What has your progress looked like? And I will say over the last few months, I have actually gone up just a little bit. I was 218 this morning. I've kind of been hovering that 213 to 215. So I'm up a few pounds. A little bit of that is, changing jobs and kind of getting into that. But some of it also is, I know I have been pretty focused in the gym over the last few months, as well as I started taking creatine about a month and a half. So some of that is fat, some of that is muscle, but I'm not sweating it because I'm in this for the long haul. So we got a few more people joining in. We got San Diego in the house, Sri Lanka, Missouri, Ireland, Indiana. We got a shout out here. Can you say hi to Blake? What's going on, Blake? So glad you could join me. And then let's see. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Dan, the Fishman, what's going on? We talked just a little earlier. Good to see you here in the live stream. And then Jenny saying muscle weighs more than fat. Absolutely. I will start my 3-day water fast. So this is a question that I get a lot, is what kind of extended fasting do I do? And I will say over the last 2.5 years, I have only fasted beyond 30 hours, probably 3 or 4 times. I'll do like a 22 to 24 hour fast once, sometimes twice a week, but I really don't get into extended fast personally. At some point, I would love to do a 3 to 5 day fast just to see how I respond and react to it, but I don't do extended fasting personally. This is a great question. I love to talk about this. Are there any foods that you cut out completely? And the short answer to that is no. So there are no foods that I have cut out completely out of my diet, and a lot of that goes into that mentality of today's diet and fitness culture, and the idea that there are foods that are off limits. Listen, this is so much more than calories in versus calories out. If it was as simple as calories in versus calories out, we'd all be able to figure it out. But so much of weight loss goes into our mindset and our mentality surrounding it. What does that have to do with cutting out foods completely? The reason I don't cut out any foods is because when you tell yourself that something is off limits, a few things are going to happen. The first thing that's going to happen is you're going to crave that food. We all want what we can't have. And when you tell yourself that you can't have a food, you become fixated on it. Again, maybe not everybody, but for me personally, if I tell myself that I can't have ice cream, it seems like all day all I'm fantasizing about is ice cream. So that's one of the reasons that I don't cut out food. And the other reason that I don't cut out foods is when I do eat one of those things that is typically what is considered an unhealthier food, when you do eat them, if you tell yourself that you weren't allowed to have it, you get that feeling of failure and guilt. And a lot of the times when we have foods that we would classify as unhealthy, the guilt associated with eating them does way more damage to us than the calories themselves. So I'm all about a sustainable plan. And even with that being said, I do have a caveat. There are foods that I try to stay away from. French fries, for example, I just don't eat a lot of French fries. But there's a difference between I choose not to eat them and I've told myself that I'm not allowed to have them, if that makes sense. So with that being said, let me go down here and just recognize Joseph real quick. Thank you so much, Joseph, for the super sticker, super chat. That means so much to me. I know the channel is so far off from being able to sustain me and my family, but I'm keeping it as a hobby, keeping it as a fun thing to do. But when stuff like this comes in, I really appreciate it. It really does mean the world for me. Allows me to kind of spend that money doing things like the editors and honestly eating out a little more, making the videos that you all want to see. And I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Joseph. It really does mean a lot to me. All right, let's see, jumping back in, we got Nashville, formerly Tennessee, and Fleming Island. Fleming Island just down the road, Jacksonville, biggest, I think, land city in the United States. And there's a ton of little smaller cities within Jacksonville, and Fleming Island is one of those. Good to see a fellow Jacksonville resident in here. Another question coming in: have you noticed the creatine difference? So I will say that I have noticed a creatine difference, and I will say where I notice it more. Obviously, I do feel like I'm looking a little bigger. I feel like my arms, my chest, my traps. I feel like I'm looking bigger is one thing. So I feel like I am putting on muscle. But as far as in the gym and during my workouts, where I'm seeing it the most is like in my bench press, for example. I am resting a little less in between my sets. Normally I'm resting probably that 2 to 3 minute time frame because I like to go heavier. But I have cut my rest down a little bit more to that 1 to 2 minute, and I'm getting the same number of reps. Normally what happens to me in the gym is if I go for, say, a good example is I can get 12 reps of 90 pounds on a dumbbell bench press, 12 reps of 90 pounds. If I rest anything less than 3 minutes, I'm probably only going to get 6 or 7 reps. My reps will decrease by half. I will say I have noticed with creatine, I can rest that 2 to 3 minute time frame and knock out, say, 10, whereas I would have got 6 or 7 before. So I am getting a few more reps. It is helping with my recovery. I have noticed that difference. And it may be placebo, but even if it is placebo, I'm still getting the result. Let's see. Amanda Dean, her question, or Amanda says, I'm new to IF and I'm doing 16 hours, but someone told me that unless you fast 20 hours or more, you don't really see significant weight loss results. Do you find that to be true? So intermittent fasting is a lot. There are a lot of health benefits that come from intermittent fasting, but the reason that a lot of people get into it, myself included, is the weight loss. Now, there is nothing magical about intermittent fasting. At the end of the day, it all comes down to sustainability and what you can do for long term. I have found intermittent fasting is the most flexible way for me to stick to this day in and day out, which is why I've been doing it for 2 years. Now, whether or not you will see success on a 16-hour fast and see weight loss has a lot to do with 2 factors. One, how much weight you have to lose, and how much you're eating during your 8-hour eating window. So at the end of the day, a lot of weight loss does come down to calories in versus calories out. So if during your 16-hour eating window, If you have more weight to lose and you are losing weight, then 16 hours is fine for you. As far as people saying you won't lose weight faster unless you're doing 20 hours, I say it all the time, we're not looking to lose weight fast, we're looking to lose weight forever. The better thing to do is to lose weight slowly and sustainably. For me, example, I would love to be probably in that 190, 190 pounds, whether that's 198 or 192. That's the number that I'm shooting for personally. But I set a goal of myself to get there over the course of years. I probably could have got there last year, going from 270 to 190. I could have done that in a year, but it would have involved crash diets and I would have rebounded and put the weight back on. So I wouldn't be concerned if you're not seeing the weight come off quickly. 16 hours is a great place to start. And it's what I did for the first probably 4 to 6 months before I started doing one meal a day, which I do probably 3 days a week now. Great question coming in from Rachel is, what is your favorite thing about fasting? And I would say my favorite thing about fasting is I no longer feel food obsessed. Now, that may seem counterintuitive to a lot of what my channel is. I mean, let's be honest, 80% of what my channel is showing what I eat. And the reason for that is when I tell people I've lost weight, usually they say, what are you eating? So I show it. I actually feel less obsessed with food since I've started intermittent fasting. I don't have a preoccupation. I'm not going through my fasting period and thinking, when am I going to eat? When am I going to eat? All I'm thinking about, and part of that is because I don't restrict the types of foods that I eat. I'm not fantasizing about food all day like I have been on restrictive diets, or when I wasn't fasting and getting up to 275 pounds, I was always thinking about food because that's the only time that I felt good is when I would be eating. So I would feel good while I was eating fast food or whatever the case was, and then I would feel depressed, and then I would look forward to eating again so I could feel that momentary. But since I've started intermittent fasting, I really feel like I have been healing my relationship with food. That's one of the things that I probably enjoy about it most, is I actually feel like I'm not preoccupied and obsessed with my food choices. Employee stock and pub subs not enough to make you want to stay at Publix. Hey, no, so Publix a great company. I was at Publix for a year, but actually I'm working at a company now called Aramark. I haven't talked about them a lot on the videos. I've only been there for, I think, 4 weeks now, so I want to wait until I'm there a little bit before I start talking about, where I'm working. There's no big secret. I just want to get in and settled. When it comes to work, I am concerned with the job. And not filming. But so I'm working at a company called Aramark. I am a manager there, so I manage a territory. I have a group of drivers that go out, service customers, and I work with the drivers and work with the customers just to make sure we're providing good service. But I am a manager with a company called Aramark, and honestly, there were a few things driving that decision. One of the biggest ones being nights and weekends off, which, while I do love Publix, working nights and weekends in grocery retail was tough because the thing that's most important to me is my family and my girls. And if I only get to see them a few hours every night after we pick them up from school and they go to bed, and I get to see them 10 hours each day on the weekend from when they go to bed. If I'm working one of those days, sometimes both of those weekend days, I'm cutting out a lot of time with the girls, and they're most important to me. So I'm liking the new role. It's really fun. I love being back into management. I think leading and managing people is a thing that I have a passion for. So I'm enjoying the new role a lot. Thanks for asking. What does my wife think about the YouTube channel? Carrie tolerates it. No, it's my hobby. One of the things people ask me, how I have time for all this YouTube stuff, and honestly, it's just where I spend my spare time. I don't watch TV anymore, and I don't have any other hobbies. I still work out, still only 2, maybe 3 times a week if I'm lucky. Fitness is still not the thing that I'm obsessed with or the thing that I'm spending my spare time on. Honestly, it is YouTube and growing this channel. But she's supportive like any spouse would be of a husband and his hobbies. Thank you very much. I appreciate that, Moon. What's the meaning behind your tattoo? So I'm not going to take my whole shirt off and show it, but I've got a tribal tattoo here. And honestly, I just wanted it because at the time, and still do, I like the way it looks. I like that it's an eagle, obviously, for America. I'm patriotic, for sure. And I always like the way a tribal looks, and I always liked a big piece. I definitely think I would like to get more tattoos at some point, but I am not the kind of person I didn't spend a lot of time. Like, I didn't draw this up. I left it to the tattoo artist. And when I get more pieces, I think I want to get like a thigh wrap next, or maybe 2 thigh wraps. I would rather prefer I work with a tattoo artist and just say, hey, just make it look good. I don't need a lot of meaning ascribed to my tattoos. I just like tattoos that look good. So I kind of leave it in the tattoo artist's hands. If you know any good tattoo artists in the Jacksonville area, be sure to email me with their information. Would love to get some more tattoos at some point. All right, let's see. Can you stick to your typical fasting windows and adjust macros or types of foods to promote gym gains or weight loss? Do you tend to cut starches and carbs to cut weight? So yes, carbs and macronutrients are something that I do keep an eye on. And one of the things that I like to think about is it's easier for me if I change my macronutrients up by the day, meaning I tend to have high carb days and low carb days just because it's easier for me to think about it that way. So like today was Pizza Friday. I had pizza. I'm having a drink here now and pretty high carb day, but I'll balance that off because like 3 other days this week I had salad and meat. So I do like to get a mix of the nutrients, macronutrients, but I kind of space them out over the course of the week, if that makes sense. And then as far as gains in the gym, I haven't got very scientific on how much muscle I'm putting on and what my gains in the gym. Right now, I'm just trying to be consistent. I think that's something that's going to come a little later on. And let me jump down here to John. John's, thank you very much. I appreciate the super chat. It really does mean a lot to me. And again, it's always great to see a familiar face in the comments, and it's so great getting to see people's comments when you're commenting on multiple videos. Just know that I do see that. I get too many now to be able to reply to everyone, but it's so great seeing a familiar face, and John is definitely one. Hey, so what's up, Brian? Looking forward to potentially collaborating about IF on my channel soon. Reply to your email, including my phone number. Hey, thank you very much, John. I did see that. If I don't reply to you by tomorrow, I'll try as soon as we are off this live stream, I'll try to reply to you. If I don't reply to you by tomorrow, shoot me another thing and I will shoot you a text and we will work out a time to get on the podcast. But thank you so much, John. I really appreciate that. What kind of music do I listen to? I listen to everything. I really do. I like pop. I like country. I like rap. I like hip hop. There's 2 kinds of music that I don't listen to, and that's hardcore, like death metal type stuff, and gangster rap. And the reasons I don't like those 2 genres of music is because I don't know what they're saying. And if I don't know what they're saying, I can't sing along. But I could be listening to Taylor Swift one day, Metallica the next, country music. I literally listen to everything. Kendrick Lamar. I like to listen to a lot of music. Depends on the mood I'm in. Hey, what's going on, Blake? Thoughts on energy drinks? So I talk about it a lot. Don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. With that being said, I follow like a 70-30 rule when it comes to my clean and dirty fasting. And if you don't know, clean fasting means consuming nothing but water or black coffee or plain tea during your fast. A dirty fast meaning drinking 0-calorie drinks or sweeteners, coffee with stevia, things like that. 70% of the time I'm doing clean fasting. 30% of the time I will do energy drinks. Today, for example, I did a 22-hour fast today. I broke my fast. We had pizza. It's Friday night around here, so we're doing Pizza Friday. But about at 1 or 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I had a Monster energy drink. Some of those energy drinks have 5 or 10 calories. I don't sweat it. But I would say I do that about 30% of the time. The other 70% of the time, I'm doing clean fasting, nothing but water or black coffee. Oh, thank you so much, Chris. I really appreciate that. It's so nice to see those words of encouragement, but thank you so much. I appreciate that. What's going on, Carter? Hey, what's going on, Jackson? How's everything? All right, call me D. I think you're in Texas, aren't you? Call me D. I've seen I've seen you a lot. Do you think there's something you did that set you apart from other YouTubers? Your growth has been incredible. I think some of it is absolutely luck. The other part of it is I'm trying to be conscious of is I'm just trying to tell good story. A lot of my shorts, I'm trying to tell a story with my shorts because I know that's what I like to watch. So I look at what I enjoy, and rather than just say, here's everything I ate and that be it, I want to tell this story of getting in shape slowly and sustainably while living a regular life. Because I love to watch fitness influencers. I do get motivation from it, but the difference is I can't do what they're doing. I need to forge my own path, and telling the story of how I'm doing that is, I think, one of the reasons that I'm getting so much growth is because that story resonates with people. And that's the thing that I focus on is I'm just trying to tell a good story. I'm not the best at it, which is why there are a ton of YouTubers that have been on the platform for way less time than me. I've been on YouTube for coming up on 2 years now, and I've got 80,000 subscribers, which is absolutely incredible. Some people are even better at telling story. They can come on the platform and they can have, millions of subscribers via the shorts. So continuing to try to get better, but thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hey, what's going on, Goon? Blake, Alexandra, how are you? Pamela, I see you eat what you want after you fast. Congrats on your 80K. Thank you very much, Pamela. Sandra, thank you. Let's see, Frank, you inspired my friend Nick Gears to lose 40 pounds so far. That is awesome. I love hearing success stories. If you have a success story, please be sure to celebrate, to let people know, and I want to celebrate with you. I think at some point maybe I should do, like a congratulations video for anyone that has reached any sort of milestone. And if there's anything that you want to do to help grow the channel, that's what I would say. Just keep focusing on yourself and trying to be consistent and committing to slow and steady. And when you have success and people say, what are you doing? Point them back to the channel and say, I found this idea of slow and steady wins the race, and then pointing back to the channel. But that's awesome to hear. Be sure to tell him congratulations from me as well. Pierce, thank you so much for the daily inspiration. I started IF in March at 215 and 177. That is awesome, Pierce. That is so exciting to hear. And just congratulations, man. That is absolutely incredible. Way to go. That is absolutely awesome. Hey, what's going on, Jaden? Gavin Lou, what's my mile time right now? Probably, no, I did it. I think there's a video where I went and I ran a 9-minute mile, which was the fastest I've ran since I've been out of the Army. A 9-minute mile is not fast. But right now, I'd probably say I haven't been running as much these last few weeks. Since the Murph, I didn't do the mile. I haven't really run too much. But I'd probably do somewhere between a 9 and a 10 right now. My fastest ever, I'll never forget, was a 5:15 mile. And that was when I was in college. I was on a Ranger Challenge team. We were an athletic, it's like a collegiate sport for ROTC. And I ran a 5:15, and I couldn't believe that. That was the fastest mile that I've ever run. Let's see, I kind of lost my spot here. Okay. Hold on, let me star this and let me come down and say thank you very much, ML, for the super chat. I love helping to motivate and inspire people. It helps keep me accountable as well. Obviously, one of the things that keeps me going is knowing that you all are out there It's honestly, it is another thing that I would absolutely attribute my success to, not only on YouTube, but as far as sticking with um, the weight loss and intermittent fasting, is I do have accountability with you all, and I appreciate that, and I love everyone that's joining the journey. But thank you, ML. Thank you very much for that super chat. Let's see. Do you have a particular workout plan or just freestyle it? I freestyle it right now. At some point, I need to come up with a workout plan, but right now, I'm still just going to the gym and having a good time. And that's what I'd recommend. If anybody is looking for what to do to work out and you want to know what I've been doing, 2 years in this, and I'm still just having fun with my workouts. Because again, going back to this idea of consistency is going to beat out all. The thing that's going to keep me consistently coming back to the gym is I feel like I'm having fun when I go there. I don't want to feel like, man, I have to get this workout in today because this is what I have programmed. I have been like that in my life, and there may be a time that I go back to that, but that's not the season of life I'm in right now. So the thing that keeps me coming back to the gym is every time I leave the gym, I want to be like, that was fun. I had a good time. Again, I know I'm getting all like philosophical with it, but if I had a recommendation for you when it comes to working out, is find what you enjoy doing, do more of that, and then there's a season to be regimented. At some point, I'd love to get into CrossFit. When I do that, I will start to be more regimented, and I'm going to do that when that's what I'm enjoying, if that makes sense. I have a ton of friends that do CrossFit, and they enjoy it. Right now, I don't think that's the season I'm in. I'm just trying to go and have fun. So the long answer to your short question is I'm just freestyling it. The only thing that I am conscious of when I go to the gym is I do whole body, because my schedule is still crazy. I don't know every time I'm be able to get to go to the gym. So I try to hit every body part. That way, if I don't go to the gym for a week, I know over the course of the week, I've hit every body part. Hey, Jackson. Key lime cake recipe. So Carrie is on Pinterest. Her Pinterest name is like Carrie922. Don't quote me. The key lime cake recipe was something like a box of lemon cake, like lemon moist cake, but she added lime jello mix to it. And then maybe a few other things. But essentially, it was like a lemon cake base, and then she added powdered lime jello mix to it. Hey, Shaggy. What's going on, Shaggy? Joining from Oklahoma. What's going on? Mickey, I appreciate what you do. I got diagnosed with blood cancer and have started intermittent fasting. What have you noticed with overall health, sickness, and infections since you've been doing this? Much love. I haven't been sick too much. I got COVID a few months ago. I've been vaccinated, got my boosters, and when I got COVID, I had like a sore throat for a day, and that was it. But I am guilty of not going to the doctor as often as I should. I haven't been to the doctor in like 3 years. I need to go back at some point. I need to get my blood work done, but I'll be the first to admit I don't know what my blood work and everything says. But at some point I'll do that, and I'll bring you the video, let you know how my blood work looks. But even with that being said, though, there's a lot of people out there and a lot of studies that have been done. There are a lot of health benefits that are associated with intermittent fasting above and beyond the weight loss benefits. People say it's the health benefit, a health plan with a side effect of weight loss. When doing one meal a day, how many calories do you try to get in? So I get this question a lot, and it's, hey, if you're doing one meal a day, shouldn't you do like one regular size meal so you lose weight faster? And while I agree with the logic that if I were to do one meal a day, if I were to do, say, a standard size meal, my calories would probably be pretty low, probably like 1,200 calories, even for a decent sized meal. But I feel like that would bring my calories too low. So I try to eat heartier meals when I do one meal a day. I'll give you 2 examples. Yesterday, I had a Chipotle bowl that was just huge. Online, it says it's 1,200 calories, but there's no way it's that few. It's got to be more than that with as much rice and beans and guacamole, sour cream cheese. It had to have been an 1,900 calorie bowl of Chipotle. And that's kind of what I shoot for, is close to that 2,000 mark for one meal a day. Still puts me at a deficit, but I have found, and research has shown, that if you drop your calories too low, that's when your metabolism slows down. So I actually try to keep my calories fairly high. I don't know if it's the right answer, but it is what I do. Least favorite thing about fasting? That's a good one. That's a good question. I do eat a lot less breakfast foods just by nature of skipping breakfast. I don't eat eggs that much. I don't eat pancakes. I don't eat bacon. Not because I don't like that stuff. I like all of that stuff, but just as a matter of skipping breakfast with my family a lot of days, I just find myself not eating breakfast foods that I do enjoy. But if that's the least favorite thing, I'll take that all day, every day to maintain a weight loss. How do you not faint if I skip breakfast? I feel nauseous until I eat. So there is an adjustment period, call it a month. The month when you first start, it is tough. You got to drink a lot of water. You got to make sure you have salt in your food so your electrolytes stay balanced. You do have to kind of muscle through that first month. But once you make it through that, your body adjusts and you don't even get hungry anymore. I literally had the pizza at 6 o'clock tonight and hadn't eaten since 8 o'clock last night, 22-hour fast. Didn't even bat an eye. And the only reason I ate the pizza at 6 o'clock was because I knew I had this live stream at 7. I could have easily gone longer because once you have been doing this long enough, the hunger goes away. And that's the other thing that I love about intermittent fasting is if you really want to control weight loss, don't control your calories, control your hunger. Because even if you eat few calories, but you're always hungry and ravenous, you're going to go throughout the day miserable. Tony, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. Again, yeah, I don't know if I'm turning red or not, but thank you. Anybody that watches the channel, watches the videos, it really does mean the world to me. What's your favorite thing that you could eat all the time? I'm between two things on this. It's either got to be pizza or Mexican food. Pizza or Mexican food. I could eat those things all the time. Started fasting on June 13th and lost 13 pounds. Congratulations, Mike. That is absolutely incredible. And that awesome job, Mike. Hey, Josh. Hey, Ryan, I'm glad I found you. I'm using IF to finish the 58 pounds. I need to have lost 200 pounds. That is incredible. Congratulations on what you've lost already. 142 pounds already. That is congratulations to you, Josh. That is awesome, and I'm so glad that you found the channel. Love when the algorithm puts the channel in front of the right people at the right time. Do you make money off this channel? Yes, I do make money off this channel, and it is starting to grow. I do make money off the channel, yes. Chantel, hey, nice to see you. Glad you could join. I've been watching for a long time, never commented. Well, thank you very much. It's so nice to see you. And now, next time you comment, I'll be able to remember. There's Chantel, who's been watching for a long time, but just recently started commenting. Again, so nice to know that you're out there watching the channel. I see Prod. Hey, what's going on? Zacho. Hey, Ryan, I'm curious as to what your faith is. Do you believe in Jesus? You seem like a very genuine person and family man. It's admirable to see. God bless. Keep up the good work. I am absolutely a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. I identify as a Christian. Savage, you fasting 18 hours a day and you eat meals so body burns more fat that way. I think that's a comment reaching back to earlier about the 16 hours. Yes, the longer you fast, the more your body will burn your fat for fuel. What time do you start your fast tonight? So I had the pizza. I'm having a Moscow Mule right now that has a little bit of calories in it. But this will be the last thing that I finish. And if I did one thing on a schedule, it's I finish eating by 8, 90% of the time. I just find that easier. It gives me a lot of flexibility. I can either do a 22-hour fast until 6, eat dinner at a regular time, or if I say I'm really hungry in the day, or tomorrow's Saturday, I am going to the gym tomorrow morning at 7, so I'm going to get in a great lift tomorrow morning. Sometimes after I get in a good lift, I'm like, man, I want to eat more today, which is probably going to be the case tomorrow. I can start eating at noon and still get a 16-hour fast in. So this will be the last thing that I have. I see Uber. Wait, oh, hold on. I got one coming down later on. I just started IF last month because of you and have really enjoyed losing weight slowly but surely. That's awesome. Slow and steady wins the race. There's a reason the tortoise and the hare is a long-standing story. It's because it's true. Have I tried Wagyu? So yes, I tried Wagyu. Here's my take on it. So last year, when I hit 1,000 subscribers, I went and I bought a Wagyu ribeye. And it cost me like $112, stupid expensive. It may have been more. It may have been like $130 for a single steak. I ate it. You could go back and watch that video. You'll have to search back and figure out. I don't know which week it was, but I've been doing what I eat in a week for a while. The Wagyu was good. It was really good. Would I buy it again? Maybe at some point I'll do it to revisit it, but I know at the time after I ate it, the thing that I thought was that steak worth $120? I thought no. I would have rather had 4 prime ribeyes, thick cut, beautifully marbled ribeyes, 4 of those for the price of 1 Wagyu. So that was my take on Wagyu. You seem uber Christian, but in the best way, not like the slimy pastors, genuine Baptist vibes. Baptist churches is where I grew up, and I try to follow Christ's example, which a big part of that example is I try not to judge. But thank you very much. I appreciate that. Hey, I just started watching your channel, love it, and I appreciate your story. I like how you're doing your fasting and motivated me. Thanks so much, Meg. Meg, thank you very much again. So glad you found the channel. I think your big appeal is you're just a normal dude trying to lose weight and gain muscle. I appreciate that, Cypher. I think I saw a comment one time, and again, for the most part, it's now getting to the point that I can't read every comment. There are some comments that I miss. I am able to read most of them, which is why I try to do those clapbacks when I see a good one. But I saw one that was like, man, you'd never know this normal, unassuming suburban dad was a ranger. And I thought that was funny to me. But yeah, I think I'm kind of settling into this idea of just being normal and average and being okay with that. Because for the longest time, I wanted to be a fitness influencer. I wanted to have a 6-pack. I wanted to be in crazy shape. But then I realized I'm chasing something, not that's unattainable, but to what end? I'm pretty happy in my life right now. That's what I'm chasing. I also want to be healthy. You know, I don't want to be happy at the sake and eat whatever I want, whenever I want, and put on weight, because that's not going to make me happy either. But thank you, Cypher. I appreciate that. I don't know what that was, but it didn't look appropriate. How's your vacation? It was awesome. It was really good. Great time. Loved the Smoky Mountains. We went 2 years ago, and it was nice to go back. Mickey, thank you for the stories you tell, the great inspiration you spread. Amazing role model. Thank you very much, Mickey. I appreciate that. Did you have a mantra when you started IF? I keep telling myself, trust the process 6 weeks in. I think the progress over perfection, I have kind of, from the beginning, I have kind of stuck to that. And another mantra that I think I did use a lot more at the beginning than I have lately, but it's something I'd love to share with you, is don't compare your beginnings to someone else's middle. A lot of the times, again, a lot of this is mental and how we look at weight loss and everything. But when you look at, even if you were to look at me as an example, hey, he's lost 60 pounds, he's doing all these things. But if you realize it's been a process of years and settling into where I am now, don't compare what you're doing now to what I'm doing 2 years into the future. Don't compare your beginnings to somebody else's middle. Is something that I said to myself a lot when I was starting out, both with intermittent fasting and with the YouTube channel. Favorite YouTubers? You know, I love Nick Bear. I have just gotten turned on to him probably in the last like 5 months, I feel like. But he was a former Ranger infantry officer. Him and I had similar like military careers a little bit, and he's like 2 years or 3 years younger than me. But I like Nick Bear a lot, so maybe when the channel gets big enough, I'll send all y'all over to Nick Bear's channel and tell him, hey, y'all, you need to hook up with intermittent fasting with Ryan. He's somebody who I've been watching a lot, and I think it'd be fun and cool to hang out with him. I think him and I are very like-minded, except he's an extreme athlete, which is just freaking awesome. All right, such a great family, man. Your wife and your girls are wonderful. I always get something out of your posts. Thank you very much, Suzanne. I really appreciate that. Hey, Ryan! Everybody, it's my former manager. Great. Ryan, if you're still on here, so good to see you. And we need to get to the gym to go and work out. Esther, again, always great to see a familiar face. Joining from Indiana, missed a few episodes, but I'm going back and watching them. You were so encouraging. Thank you very much, Esther. I really appreciate that. And again, I really feel like as the channel is growing and I'm seeing similar people comment again and again, I really feel like it's seeing good friends whenever I see a familiar face in the comments. I don't know what that was. Laughing at something, obviously. Keep doing your thing, man. You keep it real. Fitness and diet can be lonely a lot of the times. It is good to know other people are out there for sure. Out there just riding the struggle bus. Sometimes I'm driving the struggle bus. Seriously though, how did you discover that slow and steady wins a race and not starve yourself doing yo-yo diets? This is a great question, and for those of you who don't know, the reason that I discovered slow and steady and the reason that I committed to intermittent fasting was because I wanted to do something different. When I committed to slow and steady, it's because over the course of my life, I have lost 40 pounds more times than I can count. I've done low carb. I've done Weight Watchers. I've done bodybuilding 6 meals a day. I've done If It Fits Your Macros. I have done all of those diets. And I've always lost like 30 to 40 pounds because I've always struggled with my weight. But I always, without fail, put the weight back on. So when I was 270 at the start of 2020, I told myself, I need to do something different because what I have been doing isn't working. So I'm going to commit to trying something different. Intermittent fasting is the tool that I used, but the mindset was slow and steady. And something that I have talked about on the channel before, but I wouldn't be surprised if you're hearing me say this for the first time. My first few weeks of intermittent fasting, I was losing 3 pounds a week. And it was at that point that I was like, I'm losing weight too fast. Because I knew my ultimate goal was I wanted to lose the weight and keep it off. So it was at that point, fairly early on into my own journey, that I was like, you know what, I'm going to start eating more, which is why I have gained this reputation for eating a lot, is because I want to eat as much as I can and still lose weight, sometimes maintain. Sometimes I've gone up a few pounds over the last few months, but I've eaten a lot and haven't gone up that much. I want to eat as much as I can and do this as slow as possible, because if I can do it slow, I can do it forever. So that's kind of how I discovered the slow and steady. Everybody knows that to be true, but I really did commit to it because I was sick and tired of losing weight only to put it back on. But that's kind of where slow and steady comes from. And got another super chat coming in. Want to come down and recognize Amanda. I subscribe because you show everything you eat. You come across as very genuine, so I believe your channel is going to continue to grow exponentially. Amanda, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. It really does mean the world to me. And again, I'm so glad that you found the channel and are getting something out of this. And again, there was a period of time last year around the holidays that I did put on about 25 pounds. That was when I was changing jobs. I didn't have insurance and I was very stressed out. Outside of YouTube, I put on about 25, 30 pounds, and I thought that I couldn't have the YouTube channel because how could I talk about losing weight when I had put weight back on? And then I realized the thing that I really want to share is I don't want to give you tips on how to lose weight. I just want to share my experience and what it's really looking like. But thank you very much, Amanda. I really appreciate that, and I'm so glad you found the channel. It's awesome the way YouTube works sometimes. Hey man, love the channel, or love your channel. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Savage, you fast 20 hours a day. Yep. So talking back, the other one. Where's the pork rinds? They are on top of the fridge right now. How are you enjoying the new career? It's great. Loving it. Love being back in management, leading people, and love nights and weekends off. How long were you Army Ranger? So I wasn't in Special Forces, and I didn't serve in a Ranger unit. I was an infantry officer, so I served in the 1st Infantry Division and the 101st Infantry Division. But because I was an officer in the Army, I went to Ranger School, which means I got my Ranger tab. Spent 62 days at the U.S. Army Ranger School, and I did that in my first year in the Army. So I served all 7 years with my Ranger tab. Nerdy Ed, what's going on? Blake, my dad lives. Do you tend to IF every day? This is a good question and something that may not come across in my videos. I would say I fast 9 out of 10 days, sometimes 8 out of 10 days. I film everything that I eat. 6, usually not 7 days a week. Sometimes I'll go like 11, 12 days straight of filming everything I eat. I do need to take a break. Like I didn't film my pizza tonight because I've done that video before, 1 meal a day pizza. So I took a break from filming tonight. I did fast, however, but I would say I take a break from fasting about once every 10 days. I'll do a 12 or 14-hour fast. I'll wake up and eat something. Again, I try not to be too strict on myself with any facet, that included, but almost every day I'm fasting. Do you ever drink ketones? I have not drank ketones yet. I haven't investigated that or looked at it. Do you ever use like Liquid IV? So Liquid IV sent me some stuff to use. They reached out about a potential sponsorship, but I ended up not drinking it because it had calories in it. It had like 45 or 50 calories. And I said earlier in the stream that I'll have like a 10 or 15 calorie energy drink like every so often. But Liquid IV, I couldn't take it every day because I don't want to do a 50 calorie drink during my fast every day. So unfortunately, I never even used it, and they sent it to me. I felt kind of bad about that. But for the 77 of you that are watching now and however many watch us on the replay, at some point, I'm sure I will do brand deals and sponsorships, but it's going to be something that I actually use and actually recommend. And unfortunately, Liquid IV, nothing against the product, but it wasn't something that I actually saw myself using. But no, I have not tried it. What are your thoughts on the Liver King Carnivore MD? Liver King is great at social media. There's a reason he's got the following he does. And at some points, I think, if I were to go extreme on things, I would get further, but that's not me. I'm trying to stay authentic. I could probably sit down and have a conversation with Liver King, maybe. Carnivore MD, I do like. He comes across sometimes. The only thing that I don't like about Carnivore MD, Dr. Paul Saladino, the only thing that I don't like about him is the way that he'll make you feel that you do it this way or you're doing it wrong. Again, that just goes against my philosophy. But I think if him and I were to sit down and have a conversation, his style of diet, animal-based, I think is one that I really want to try out and am moving towards a little bit. The difference is I'm not doing it wholesale. I'm not saying, all right, tomorrow, no more processed foods. I'm cutting it out, nothing but animal, honey, and fruit. I'm going to get there over time, but that's because I subscribe to the idea of slow and steady. Again, a lot of things will work for a lot of people. You just have to find what works for you and something that you can sustain. When it comes to that animal-based stuff, I do like it because I think I could do that for a long time. I think I could sustain an animal-based diet. So at some point, I'll try it. How do I feel about vegan or gluten-free foods? I've never eaten gluten-free foods, like maybe on accident. I've eaten a gluten-free food. I've never done it intentionally. And as far as vegan, I just don't prefer the taste. So it's not something that I could sustain. Therefore, it's not something I try. And I'm going to try, we got like 10 minutes left. I got a hard stop at 8 o'clock for bedtime for the girls. So we got about 10 minutes left on the stream. If you were watching this on the replay, you are an absolute monster. Thank you very much. Go ahead and let me know that you made it to the 50-minute mark in the comments below if you're watching this on the replay. But I'm about to go lightning round to try to get through some of these. So I fast 20 hours, except I put organic cream in my coffee. Exactly. I'm not worried. People that put cream in their coffee, if that helps you get through, absolutely. That's weird. It's not letting me show that one. All right. Love your channel. When you eat one meal a day, do you feel hungry or sleepy after, since you're eating everything in one sitting? I usually do feel sleepy, but that's usually I plan on eating, going to bed a few hours later. They say you shouldn't eat before going to bed. I don't listen to that. If I don't go to bed with a full stomach, I will end up snacking late into the night. So I like to eat at 8, be asleep by like 9, 9:30. I've been doing IF for 2 years now. Recently, I've struggled ending my fast and just binge eating. This has been something you struggle with. I have in the past. That's kind of this last holidays is one of the things I struggle with. And one of the things that I do to combat that is I eat closer to bed. Is one of the things that has helped me with my binge eating and snacking after my one meal a day, is push the start time of that a little later. Family vacation was the Smoky Mountains. Of course, he's a Christian. Smoky Mountains was absolutely awesome. Steve, what's going on, man? Thank you very much. Good seeing you in the comments. How do you stay consistent? By giving myself grace when I step off of the plan. Like when I do something against plan, I legitimately, and it's not something, it's easier said than done, but forgiving myself and understanding that I'm not going to do this perfectly and to put that out of my mind, which allows me to just get right back into it. Would you ever go vegan? Again, maybe for a day or a week. I'm not against trying it to see if it works for me. I don't think it would work for me. I'm not against trying it, but we will see kind of what everything goes. Maybe if I'm ever doing YouTube full time, I'll be able to devote like time to doing segments of, hey, I'm going to try this for a week. I'm going to try this for a month. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'm eating American Wagyu New York strip right now. Love it. Does your wife ever fast with you? Probably, I would say 2 out of every 10 days. She'll be doing fasting, but she's doing her own thing. Would you ever consider doing a water-only multi-day fast? It is something I want to do at some point. I just got to think about when I'm going to fit it in. It's absolutely something I want to do. Love the videos, 3 weeks strong. Hey, that's awesome to hear, Jason. Keep it going. Again, excited to hear about anybody that is getting started on their own journey. Believe in my man. Most of us can see the realness. I appreciate that, Nelson. What's going on from the UK? Love your videos. Just started your own journey. Congratulations. Oh, Left Behind. See? So this is been here from the absolute start. And OG right here. If you ever see Left Behind in the comments, be sure to tell him, hey, I remember when I was getting 35 views on a video, he was there. But he or she, I don't know. It's good to see an OG. So glad you're on the stream. Where am I? Get out of here. Hope you're having a great day, Ryan. Appreciate the work you put in yourself and your channel. Much love. Thank you, Darius. I appreciate that. Captain Canada, thank you for your content. I've been using intermittent fasting for 3.5 months. I'm now down 45 pounds and still going. Congratulations. That is absolutely awesome. Joy, thank you very much. So glad you found the channel and glad you're here now. Where's your new job at? I work for a company called Aramark, and I'm a manager with them, and it's going great. Have you ever fasted for more than 24 hours? I'm doing 24 hours about once a week, and only a handful of times if I fasted 30 or more. I am an area manager. I manage a group of routes and interact with customers and the route drivers at a company called Aramark. You rock. Keep making them videos and shorts. Absolutely. I think I have 11 shorts right now. I took a few days off from posting shorts, and like yesterday I posted a short from 1.5 years ago, and I did that. I've now got like 11 days because with this new job, I don't have time to do YouTube Monday through Friday, except for filming what I'm eating. So tomorrow I'm going to sit down and I've got to do you get to see a little behind the scenes. Tomorrow I got to sit down and I've got to do the voiceover for 11 days worth of everything I eat in a day. So that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend, or at least the plan is to wake up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning and do that for a few hours before the girls wake up, doing all my voiceovers. So anything you see on the channel is really what I ate like a week and a half ago. But because y'all are here and y'all are the big supporters, y'all get to see kind of behind the scenes a little bit. Love the channel. Keep it going. Absolutely will do. Flash the Corgi. If you were to ever stop IF, would you gain the weight back quickly or would you maintain the weight? It all depends on how much you eat at the end of the day. I don't think I'm ever going to stop doing intermittent fasting. I don't have a crystal ball. I don't know what the future holds. But if you go back to your old patterns of eating, you will put the weight back on. Oh, my deadlift is 100 pounds. Good stuff. Love the videos. Have a great weekend. You too. What's your favorite country? USA. It's a great country. I've been around the world thanks to the Army. There's great people in every country. I love people across the world, but I also love my country. Derek, have you adjusted your calories at all since you began your journey, taking any break? Yeah, I'm adjusting my calories right now. I'm in the process of adjusting my calories right now because my job is not as physical as it was before, which is a matter of fact. The less physical I am at work means I can't eat as much. So I'm trying to figure out right now what my new calories are. I don't count calories anymore. So when I say figure out what my calories are, I just mean guesstimate based off of how much I'm eating. I'm trying to taper back just a little bit at a time what my portions are. A great example of that is I ate 6 pieces of pizza tonight. Now, we cut our big pizza that we get from Papa Murphy's. We cut it into 10 slices. I ate 6 tonight, where in the past I would have eaten 8. So that's how I'm watching my calories, is by watching my portion size. David, thank you so much for showing us the journey. I'm struggling with mine, but I'm determined from my family. When you first started to take time to stay consistent. Yes, and go back, watch my first video. That's where I talk about it's important to only focus on the fasting. If you try to do everything, you'll end up doing nothing. Just focus on the fast. Don't stress yourself out by trying to clean your diet, new workout routine, drink a gallon of water, walk 10,000 steps. Just focus on the fast. Is intermittent fasting good even if you are fit? Is this next question? It's not letting me click it. It depends on the body type, but Terry Crews does intermittent fasting, and that dude is yoked. He's yoked out of control. Hey, Ryan, because of you, I started OMAD, lost 10 kilos. That is awesome. Congratulations. Good to go. Gloria, thank you. And thank you, President Joe Biden. I didn't know if this was a joke or not, so I went by it. I am not. I trust you way more than any doctor ever. Thanks for the health advice. I lost 40 pounds because you. Thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. Let's turn this into a call. Will you fast during the holiday season? I do, occasionally. Yeah, I use fasting because I like to do 1 meal a day leading up to big meals. I find it helps me maintain that way. Is intermittent fasting good if you were fit? Thank you so much. Thanks for the inspiration. Do you weigh yourself every day? No, I'm like weighing myself now probably about once every 2 to 3 weeks. Do you know how to get toned? Is it what you eat or how you work out? It's a little bit of both. It's more what you eat. You have to be in a calorie deficit and you have to lose fat in order to show your muscle. How do you plan to teach your kids about healthy relationships with food? I think the biggest thing is I'm trying to model healthy relationships. And part of that is not saying any foods are off limits, not assigning morality to food. There's not good food and bad food. There are sometimes food and always food. Fruit isn't always food. Cake is a sometimes food. I'm trying to teach my kids through modeling. I tried the protein drink from Publix. It's amazing. Good stuff. Glad when a recommendation works out. Great advice. Got to keep telling my one thing at a time. Absolutely. If you do everything, if you chase 2 rabbits, you'll end up catching no rabbits. Got to come to Maine. Hey, let's keep blowing the channel up, and then at some point, maybe I will be traveling full time. Hey, but with that being said, we are right at 59 minutes and 45 seconds. If you are watching this on the replay, you are absolutely incredible. If you've been watching this on the live stream, thank you so much again. I appreciate each and every one of you. I'm so grateful for the opportunity to share my journey with you all and look forward to inspiring you all. And remember, we're not looking to lose weight fast. We're looking to lose weight forever. Thank you so much for joining me, and I look forward to catching you in the next video.